Hi, and welcome to this feet and balance exploration. We're going to get started by taking a seat on our heels at the back of the mat with the toes tucked under. Make sure that all 10 toe pads are meeting the ground. Especially the pinky toe tends to get a little squished, so you may have to manually flick it over. Now, this may feel like a lot. And if at any point you cross over from a lot to too much, just bring the hands down in front of you and lean forward slightly. But if you're good, bring your hands onto your thighs and close the eyes. And start by noticing if the intensity of sensation from your feet is mirrored somewhere else in the body. And just loosen any gripping or straining. And gradually start to mold your breath to a pace and depth that best supports you in this moment. However strong or subtle that breath may be. Just switching the breath from an automatic process to something that we're doing consciously. And then start to blink the eyes open. Bring the hands down in front of you. Lift the hips off of your heels. Untuck the toes and then sit back down. Glide your hands behind your back. Lean back. Relax the feet and then lift the knees up. Maybe you stay here. Or if you're looking for a little bit more sensation at the fronts of the ankles, you can bring the hands next to your hips. Or even bring the hands onto your knees. And then either soften the gaze or close the eyes completely. And just make sure that the feet are completely relaxed and floppy, allowing for a slight sickle in the ankles. And then blink the eyes open if they were closed. Bring the hands down if they're on your knees. And then lower the knees down. Upright your spine. And lift the arms up, but get really soft through the joints. Allowing the shoulders to drop down. Slight bend in the elbows. Letting the wrists and fingers be droopy. Take an inhale, bring the arms back and wide, plug the shoulder blades into the back of the heart and let the front of the heart pump up towards the sky. And as you exhale, pull the pubic bone towards the heart, reach the arms forward, broaden the space between the shoulder blades and round the spine. Inhale, arms back and wide, lift the heart high. Exhale, reach the arms forward, broaden the space between the shoulder blades and round. Inhale, arms back and wide, lift the heart. Exhale, reach the arms forward and round. Inhale, arms back and wide, lift the heart high. And exhale, reach the arms forward and round. Once more, inhale, arms back and wide, lift the heart high. And this time as you exhale, lean forward, reach the arms forward, plant the hands down, and then continue to move your spine on all fours. And that movement can be arching, rounding, twisting, waving, rolling. It's whatever movement comes through you intuitively. Not being so focused on what you're doing or what it looks like, but just moving as a direct response to the feedback of your body. And then let one of these spinal movements bring you down towards the ground. So let the hips drop down, let the chest drop down, and let the chin drop down. Keep the hands next to your ribs. Magnetize the inner elbows towards one another. Press down to the tops of the feet, and then press down equally to the big toe and the pinky toe. And then start to drag your hands back and lift your heart, but keep the bottom ribs on the ground. Lifting up into a tiny baby cobra. Take an inhale and exhale, lower back down. And again, drag the hands back, lift the heart, bottom rib stays on the ground. And then start to tuck all 10 toes under. And press off of your hand and push the hips up and back into a downward facing dog. Keep a soft bend in your knees. Press the earth away with your hands. Broaden the shoulder blades. Elongate the sides of the waist and then broaden the sits bones up and back. And keep the spine long but get heavy through the heels and let them sink down towards the ground. And pour the weight into the left foot. Start to hike the right hip a little higher, plug the right femur bone in and hover the right foot off the ground. Just a couple of centimeters. Spread the right toes and take one tiny step forward. Let the sole of the right foot melt and yield down onto the ground. Pour the weight into the right foot. Hike the left hip higher and hover the left foot. Spread the toes and step the left foot forward. Let the sole of the foot melt down. And continue to take these tiny steps towards the front of the mat. And as you get closer to your hands, you can bend the knees slightly to take some of the strain off of your hamstrings. And once you reach the top of the mat, fold over your legs. The head be heavy. The arms be heavy. And the feet and belly are soft. If it feels good, you can find little movements here. Or just stay still. And then come up onto your fingertips. Lift your belly off of your thighs so that you can see your feet. And then relax the feet completely and just observe. So notice if the feet are placed down symmetrically. Are they turning in or out? What's happening with the toes? Where's most of the weight going? Are the inner arches collapsing? And then just reset your feet directly underneath your hips. Middle toes point forward. And then start to press the big toe mounds into the ground. And keep the big toe mounds pressing down, but then press down equally to the outer heel. So you're creating this diagonal line across the sole of the foot. Keep that and create an equal diagonal line from the pinky toe mound to the inner heel. Rooting down to the four corners of the feet. Lift the toes up. Then spread the toes wide. And see if you can bring down just the pinky toe. Keep the pinky toe down and then bring the fourth toe down. Middle toe. Second toe. And then bring the big toe down. Relax all 10 toes and root down through the big toe mound, pinky toe mound, and inner and outer heel. And again, lift the toes up and spread them. And this time, see if you can bring your pinky toes and the big toes down, but keep the 3 middle toes lifted. And then relax all 10 toes down and fold over your legs. And if the toes weren't really moving or they were moving in clusters, just imagine the toes moving one by one and eventually the message gets relayed from our brain down to the toes. And on the next inhale, start to roll your spine up. And when you get to the top, exhale, relax the shoulders and lift your head. Find one focal point in the ground in front of you and then lift up to your pelvic floor. Cinch up your waist and lift up to your sternum, lengthening and lifting through the center of your body. And then start to pour the weight forward. Press down through the balls of the feet to lift the heels up slightly. And then press down through the big toe mounds to lift them higher. And keep that, but then press down to the tips of the toes to lift the heels even higher. And then relax the toes. Relax the big toe mounds. And relax the balls of the feet to bring the heels down. And then step the feet together and leave a little space between your heels. Again, find one focal point in the ground in front of you. Lift up through the center. And float the arms up, but stay soft through the joints. Again, pour the weight forward. And then press down through the balls of the feet to lift the heels. Press down the big toe mounds. And then press down to the tips of the toes like you're trying to grab the mat with the toes. Good deep inhale. And exhale. So just send your shins forward, bum back. Sitting down towards chair with the heels lifted. Press the inner knees together. And keep that natural lumbar curve, but then counteract some of the overeager booty presenting by drawing the navel in and lifting the ribs away from the pelvis. Deep inhale. Exhale. Right heel comes down. Press down through the right foot to extend the right leg and left knee comes to your chest. Again, see if you can keep your lower back curve so you have the space to extend the right leg fully. Take a deep inhale and exhale, slow motion. Start to kick the left leg back, lean forward, and either reach the arms back or softly bend the right knee and bring your hands onto the right thigh for support. Then press the right heel into the earth and press the ball of the left foot into the space behind it. Inhale, start to bend the right knee. Reach the left toes back. And exhale, step the left foot down to the back of the mat and bring the left knee down. Gather up to your pelvic floor, slightly squeeze your bum. And inhale, float the arms forward and up. As you exhale, lift the right heel up and press down equally to the big toe mound and the pinky toe mound. Lift up and out of your waist, take one more inhale. And exhale, right heel comes down. Lift the right toes up, extend the right leg and bring the fingertips down. Dig the right heel into the earth. Spread the toes and pull them in towards your face. Send the heart forward, take a deep inhale. And exhale, fold over the right leg. And keep pulling the toes towards the top of your head. On the next inhale, rebend the right knee, plant the hands down, tuck the left toes under, lift the left knee up, press the ground away, and then step the right toes back to meet the left. Inhale, scooch forward. Exhale, knees up or down. Bend the elbows to the sides of the body and lower down. Inhale, lift the heart, cobra, or maybe upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck the toes under and lift the hips up and back, down dog. Push the ground away and lift the tail high. And get heavy through the heels and see if you can lift the toes off the ground. And if the toes are lifted, spread them and then bring the pinky toes down, fourth toes down, middle toes, the second toes, and the big toes down. And relax all 10 toes. And step your feet together. Lift the heels high. Get heavy through the left leg and inhale, reach the right leg up and back. And exhale, right knee towards the nose, curl in. Inhale, gaze down. And exhale, step the right foot in between the hands. And you can help it forward with the right hand if it doesn't quite land at the top of the mat. Lower the left knee down. Root down through the right heel. And inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Exhale, bring the fingertips down in front of the right foot. Lift the left knee up and then spring off of the left toes to lift the leg up. Firm the inner thighs together. Send the heart forward and slightly bend the right knee. And start to pour the weight forward and press down to the ball of the right foot, the big toe mound, and the tips of the toes to lift the heel. Inhale and exhale, soften the toes, soften the big toe mound, and soften the ball of the foot. Right heel lowers down, left foot comes down next to the right, fold over your legs. On the next inhale, you can roll up or lift up with a straight spine. And exhale, relax the shoulders, lift the head. Find your focal point in the ground. Elongate your center and reach the arms up. Pour the weight forward and then press down the balls of the feet, the big toe mounds, and the tips of the toes to lift the heels. Inhale, exhale, send the shins forward, bum back, sitting down towards chair with the heels lifted. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, left heel comes down. Extend the left leg, right knee comes to your chest. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly send the right leg back. Lean forward and either reach the arms back or again you can softly bend the left knee and bring the hands onto the thigh. And press the left heel down. And then press the right foot into the space behind you. Inhale, start to bend the left knee. Reach the right toes back. And as you exhale, step the right foot down. Bring the right knee down. Gather up your pelvis and inhale. Reach the arms forward and up. Exhale, left heel lifts up. Inhale, lengthen out your waist and puff up to your ribs. As you exhale, left heel comes down. Lift the left toes up. Extend the left leg and bring the fingertips down. Dig the heel into the earth and pull the toes towards your face. Inhale, elongate the spine. And exhale, fold over. Next, inhale, rebend the left knee. Plant the hands down, tuck the right toes under and lift the right knee up. Press the ground away and then step the left toes back. Inhale, scooch forward. Exhale, knees up or down, lower down. Inhale, lift the heart, cobra, upward facing. And exhale, hips go up and back, downward facing dog. From down dog, get heavy through the heels. And again, see if the toes can start to lift off the ground. If the toes are lifted, spread them wide, and then bring the pinky toes and the big toes down, but keep the 3 middle toes lifted. And then relax all 10 toes. Bring the feet together. Lift the heels high. Way down through the right leg and inhale, reach the left leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose, curl in. Inhale, gaze down. And exhale, step the left foot in between the hands. Lower the right knee down. Anchor the left heel to the earth and inhale, float the arms forward and up. Exhale, bring the fingertips down in front of the left foot. Lift the right knee and then push off with the right toes to lift the leg up. Firm the inner thighs together. Send the sternum forward and slightly bend the left knee. Pour the weight forward and press down to the ball of the left foot, big toe mound, and the tips of the toes to lift the left heel high. Inhale. And exhale, relax the toes, the big toe mound, and the ball of the foot. Left heel comes down. Right foot comes down next to the left, fold over the legs. Inhale, roll up or lift up with a straight spine. And exhale, relax the shoulders, lift the head. Find your focal point. Lift up to the central axis of the body and float the arms up. Pour the weight forward. And then lift the heels by pressing the balls of the feet, big toe mounds, and the tips of the toes. Inhale. Exhale, shins forward, bum back. Sitting down towards chair. Inhale. Exhale, right heel comes down. Extend the right leg, left knee comes to your chest. And then extend the left knee and point the left toes forward. And try to keep the ankle in line with the hip. And then keep the left leg extended, but just flex the ankle. Spread the toes, pull them in towards your face, and press the left heel forward. And keep the toes pulling towards your face, but just press the ball of the left foot forward so you're somewhere in between pointing and flexing. A deep inhale. Exhale, swim the left leg back. Lean forward and either reach the arms back or bring the hands onto the right thigh. And bend the right knee and start to pour the weight forward. And you can stay here if you're already feeling a little bit unsteady. But if you feel solid, play with lifting the right heel off the ground. And maybe it just lifts up for a brief second, or maybe you're able to find balance. Know that this is quite a precarious place to be, so just welcome all the shakes and the wobbles. And then lower the right heel down if it's lifted. Deepen the bend in the right knee. Send the left toes back and then step them down. Keep the left knee lifted this time. Gather up through your pelvis and inhale, reach the arms forward and up, crescent. Exhale, lift the right heel up. Puff up through your ribs, take a deep inhale. Exhale, right heel comes down, extend the right leg, lean forward and reach the arms back. And maybe you have to hop the left foot in a little bit closer. Then get really heavy through the left heel so it just hovers above the ground. Firm the inner thighs together. Lengthen out your belly and send the heart forward. Then see if you can lift the right toes off the ground. And if you feel solid, start to press the right heel down and forward and see if you can balance only on the right heel. If you still feel super solid, see what happens when you start to lift the back heel a little higher. And when you've had enough, bring the right foot down, bend the right knee and inhale, reach the arms up, crescent. Exhale, plant the hands down, press the ground away and step the right toes back. Inhale, scooch forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, hips go up and back, down dog. And from down dog, start to lift your heels and come up as high onto your toes as you can. And let that ripple the weight forward towards your hands like a wave. And gaze between your hands. And start to take tiny little steps towards the front of the mat. And the closer your feet get to your hands, the more weight you can pour into the fingertips and the higher you can lift up onto the tippy toes. And when you reach the top of the mat, stay high up on your toes, then tap the right toes to the right wrist, and release the right toes back down, and then tap the left toes to the left wrist. Release the toes back down, bring the feet together, lower the heels and fold over your legs. And then inhale, roll up or lift up with a straight spine. Exhale, relax the shoulders, lift the head. Elongate through the center, reach the arms up. And again, pour the weight forward and lift the heels by pressing the balls of the feet, big toe mounts, and the tips of the toes into the earth. Inhale. Exhale, shins forward, bum back, bending the knees towards chair. Inhale. Exhale, left heel comes down, extend the left leg, right knee comes to your chest. And extend the right knee and point the right toes forward. Try to keep the ankle in line with the hip. And try to keep the bottom knee fully extended as well. And flex the right foot, pull the toes towards your face and press the heel forward. Then keep the toes pulling in, but press the ball of the right foot forward into the air. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, send the right leg back. Lean forward and either reach the arms back or interlace the fingers over the left thigh. And bend the left knee slightly. Pour the weight forward. Maybe you stay, or maybe you play a little bit with lifting the left heel off the ground. And just allow yourself to teeter-totter in the shape. And then lower the left heel if it's lifted. Deepen the bend in the left knee and step the right toes back. Gather up your pelvis and inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, left heel lifts up. Inhale, lift up and out of your waist. And exhale, left heel comes down, extend the left leg, lean forward and reach the arms back. Maybe hop the right foot in a little bit. Get heavy through the right heel so it just hovers above the ground. And see if the left toes can lift up. Spread them wide. And maybe start to press the left heel down and forward. And see if you can find balance only on the left heel. And if that feels too easy, start to lift the back heel a little higher. And then when you've had enough, plant the left foot down, bend the left knee, and inhale, reach the arms up crescent. Exhale, hands come down, press the earth away, and step the left toes back. Inhale, scooch forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra, upward facing. Exhale, hips go up and back, down facing dog. And from down dog, bring the feet together, heels high. And then just start to walk your hands towards your feet. And as you get closer, come up onto your fingertips, bend the knees, and then just curl into a little ball. Let your cheeks rest on your knees. And allow yourself to retreat inward and catch your breath here for a brief moment. And then lift your gaze. And start to send your knees forward, thighs parallel to the ground. Walk your hands back, lift up to your pelvic floor, engage your core, and bring the left hand onto the left thigh. And if you feel steady, bring the right hand onto the right thigh. If you still feel good, float the arms up. You can gaze down for balance, or to find a little bit more challenge, maybe look up or even close your eyes briefly. And then start to slightly pull your pubic bone up, lean back, and then send the knees forward and down onto the ground. Lift the hips off of your heels, then bring the arms back and wide plug the shoulder blades in and let the heart pump up towards the sky. And flood the front of your lungs with the breath. Take a deep inhale, full exhale. Inhale, reach the arms up, draw the belly in. Exhale, lower the hips back down onto the heels. Lean back and see if you can lift the knees off the ground. Then bring the knees wide. Reach the arms forward and fold in between your legs. And find these 3 anchoring points through your hips, your heels, and your head, so that all 3 are heavy and pouring down towards the ground. And then start to lift your gaze and walk the hands back. And we're just going to play a little bit with the weight shift in Bakasana. We'll set the hands underneath the shoulders, index fingers forward, and grip the mat with the fingertips. And then bring your inner knees onto your upper arms and squeeze in slightly. Then start to bend the elbows out to the sides and see if you can snuggle yourself in a little bit deeper. And keep the elbows bent, but then hug them in towards one another. From there, just start to lean forward, pouring more and more weight towards the fingertips until the feet get lighter. Lift one foot up, maybe followed by the other foot. Bring the big toes together. And if you're more experienced in arm balancing, start to lift the hips up, pull the heels towards your bum and press the arms towards straight. And then whenever you've had enough, bring the feet down, walk the hands behind you and take a seat on your mat. Bring the soles of the feet together, knees open out to the sides, and leave quite a generous space between your heels and your groin here. From here, we're just going to start to interlace the toes together. So as if you were interlacing the fingers, you use your hands here to braid as many toes together as possible. So at least the first couple should be manageable. And the smaller toes are a little bit trickier. But just interlace as many toes together as you can. And once you're all set, we're just going to give ourselves a little foot massage. So just start to dig your thumbs into the arches of the feet. And the feet tend to like it quite rough, so you can use quite a lot of force here. And then start to slide your hands onto your shins. Upright your spine. You can stay here, or if it feels good, start to fold in. Maybe using the feet as a pillow for your head. And then soften your breath. Soften the back of the jaw. Soften the temples. And soften the space between your eyebrows. And then, like this built-in support system, send your breath to wherever you might be feeling resistance. Whether that's in your physical body or your mind. And then gently start to lift yourself back up if you're folded in. Bring your hands behind you, lean back slightly, and then just untangle your toes. Give them a little wiggle. Then bring your hands onto the outer knees and bring the legs together. And scooch forward on your mat. And come to lay down on your back. Keep the knees bent and the feet on the ground, resting the arms to your sides. And you can either close the eyes or keep them open, but see if you can broaden through your gaze, looking out into the periphery, letting the shapes and the colors of the ceiling get a little fuzzy. And relax the feet, relax the toes, and then let the soles of the feet just spread and puddle down onto the ground. And then sense for the earth beneath you. And how the earth comes up and meets the soles of your feet in this constant, solid support. And then bring your knees into your chest without using your hands. Or just sort of letting the body nestle into itself, letting the tailbone lift up slightly. And from there, just extend the legs up towards the sky. And if you're somewhere close to a wall, you can do this with the legs up against it. Or you can just let the legs dangle freely in the air. And let the bones get really, really heavy. And the femurs boring down into the hip sockets. Weighing the pelvis down towards the ground. And just let the legs drain here for a moment. And if your legs are up against the wall, you can stay there for the rest of the class. Otherwise, start to slowly bend the knees back in towards your chest. And then bring the feet down onto the ground and extend the legs. You can take up as much space with your limbs as you wish. And if the eyes are still open, close them down. And then see if you can locate your heartbeat in your feet. Sensing the blood as it pumps all the way down to your toes. And for the remainder of your Shavasana, just let your awareness rest on your feet. And then slowly start to find little movements to your fingers, your toes, gently reawakening the body. And let these movements gradually get bigger. Perhaps reaching the arms overhead and finding a big full body stretch. And if your legs are up against the wall, bend the knees. And then push yourself away from the wall with your feet so you have the space to roll onto the right side of the body. And same if you're on the ground, bend the knees and roll onto the right side. And eventually lift yourself up to a seat on your mat with the eyes closed. Join the palms together in front of the heart, slightly bowing down. And take one more purposeful inhale. And exhale, blink the eyes open. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me, and I hope you have the best day. Bye.